Up tomorrow morning and cry some more. How's everyone doing on your end?
Pretty good. Literally the first thing on the stream is in the morning and cry some more.
Cry some more?
Yeah, that's the first thing that happened on the stream.
Was it really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Let's get this in here.
So tonight I'm playing from my redneck desk. I'm on top of the washer and dryer.
Nice. Well, there you go.
I hope everyone's doing well and
so far.
The music is amazing.
Much like the stream, we're playing that funky music.
I love this song. It's called Dad's in Space.
So for tonight's entertainment, Ivar brings his latest drink, acetone.
Oh my god. Guaranteed that you'll only drink it once.
He'll finish it up with some premium wood putty.
Well, that's one of my favorite memes right now. It's you know, with all the stupidity, it's time for you to take Tide Pods with your friends, and then it shows a picture of young Anakin going, "Now that's what I call pod racing."
Kids are stupid.
It's dumb. Which is
I mean, we used to try. We used to joke and try to.
By the way,
we used to just do fifths of alcohol, but we never drank them all.
Man.
His song reminds me of Ghostbusters.
It's kind of like that, isn't it?
Busted.
Gotta turn you up.
Testicles, 1, 2, 3.
Looking pretty good.
We can hear you.
Yay!
You got like people chatting in there and stuff, D?
I know, right? Seems like a pretty active evening. I'm excited so far.
Well, you got a few people jumping around platforms for you. Because you hit up all of the streamers.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to Shadows.
Sorry, I had a kid with a bloody nose, like, right at 8 o'clock.
Oh, damn.
They don't really seem to care about timing, so.
The kids or
Kids generally don't care about timing. They're
it's
just kind of like,
definitely
whatever.
don't care about timing. I was like, alright, time for bed, and she's like,
Oh, nice. Wow, it's been a crazy couple of weeks given the fact just a lot of stuff going on with everybody. The new houses, new jobs, all kinds of crap.
New jobs, you mean leaving jobs?
Yeah, well, focus on the new job, right? Not in the fact that you got flamed.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it comes through and you'll get a better pay and all that good stuff.
yeah.
See?
And then you send them a Christmas card. I'm doing better, bitches.
I'm enjoying the schadenfreude of daily calls and emails from former coworkers saying, "Hey, so who's handling XYZ now?" And I'm like,
"Not me."
Well, my problem.
Oh, I love that email. Copy paste. Thank you for your concerns. That's no longer my situation. Have a nice day.
Let me introduce you to SH Consulting Services. We charge $80 an hour. We will fix all of your regulatory problems. The clock is ticking. Let's go.
Yeah.
So here's a question. The higher-ups call you back and say, we screwed up. Will you come back?
Well,
and the
I don't know.
answer is?
For 2 days, because then I'll hit 4 years and unlock another week of PTO. And then they'd have to pay me that out. I don't know. There's no ill will, but...
There's ill will.
There's, likely something better around the corner. That's what happened last time. I was devastated, and then I got a basically 50% raise. So
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm like, I can play this game every 5 years. That sounds good.
Well, I think we're about ready to go kick some more vampire ass. At least that's the plan. Y'all remember how the last one ended?
We were going down a hallway looking for some stuff.
No, you were out in the street, slagged a monster with a plasma rifle.
That's not how it ended. We ended by going into the house. We found a door, and then both Scott and Bill were trying to hack it. Scott was able to hack it.
Yeah, I went into the net.
We actually did some net running, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, and
apparently, we rewrote last week as me rebooting. I was trapped, and someone put me in a recursive loop.
Well, we ended up not playing, so nothing happened.
Shut up. No.
I was playing this new game called Skybreak Sagas, and I just got trapped.
Yeah, that's gonna be the sci-fi, the sci-fi Shadows version. Nice.
I personally like to think that you found Candy Crush wherever you were, and
Have you seen this game?
I need a few more minutes.
It's like
A Minority Report interface of Candy Crush.
completely retro.
Yeah.
Age-old addictions. Right. Well, the terminal that Barrick was able to actually get into allowed him to be able to see a lot of what might have been going on. There is some degradation of data that started to occur the moment he started touching it, just because there was an artificial intelligence that was left behind just in case there was anything that went sideways. And because his signature icon and brute force hacking attempt alerted that, it more or less shredded the data inside of those files. But some of what was gathered is indicative that the Zemisi clan are planning for a very big coup. They are looking to do some serious damage, but the specifics are they're obscured, mainly because of that destruction of data. Ursa, quit. Go lay down. Can't get nothing done with that dog sometimes.
Dog.
So yeah, but I mean the place is just a nest, as you might expect. So it's got cots, beds, some common living supplies, a fridge. Doesn't really have access to the web except for the one terminal that Barrick has accessed at this point. A lot of it's dark. You've got the buzzing fluorescent lighting that's in the basement level, and just kind of some remnants of what looks to be herds or ghouls, or perhaps even just victims in general, after having been here for some time, maybe a month or two. So it kind of has that stench.
It smells very nice in here.
Unwashed bodies and urine and decay.
Delicious.
Oh, de Ivar.
Smell like I'm home.
Curry,
Delicious.
oddly, for some reason.
Curry.
It smells like alley on 53rd Street. Very nice alley.
Dravis is keeping an eye on everything and everyone that's around right now. He's just basically trying to see if there's anything like traps or any other issues that might be coming of it. He does a short perimeter search. Nothing gets found. But this is what you guys have got for now. Richard is thumbing through some of the sort of wet and disheveled documentation that's still down here because there was a certain level of humidity. But there's nothing else drastic. It looks like they were just kind of holing up, and this was a staging area, not much else.
Am I still hacking away, finding anything, or did I find what I could find?
You found what you could find. That's it.
Okay.
You basically pull back and you're snapped back into the room again. But you've got the data in your head.
So I will grant read-only access to the AIs so they can look at it and
You're talking about
extrapolate.
Firestorm?
Firestorm, yes.
Yeah.
Just
Quick
to,
question, clarification
extrapolate.
to get caught up. Is our luck reset for this encounter, or are we still continuing from previous?
In this case, because we're at the end of the whole thing, you guys have your luck restarted.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Let's do this. There we go.
And then another question, since we're not in combat, how is my regeneration, healing, nanosurgeons, etc.?
It's going to be coming about. You're going to have more than enough time. Within the next 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be all set.
Okay.
I don't appreciate you changing the song to something much more.
Ominous.
Yeah.
I'm only asking because I was at a -3 penalty, so.
Yeah. So you'll be
That's after you
you'll
took
be
a massive amount of damage too.
yeah.
Yeah, I took 80 damage.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, about anywhere between like 15 to 20 minutes or so, you're gonna have yourself back up to snuff. You'll be all right. Sore, but okay. So, at this point, Richard's just got everybody's attention. He's like, "We're gonna have to get to that other nest for sure. It's not too far from here. Maybe 1 hour by AV. I'm wondering what they've got planned. You said that they're actually looking to do some pretty serious damage to the Prince of Night City, are they?"
Pretty much. That's why we were sent here.
Well, I had an inkling that they were up to something, but this seems a bit extreme. Do you find anything
What?
about...
Oh, you continue.
Was there anything in there about the one that we slagged out there? Something about any agreements, anything that would lead us to outsider influence? Was there anything like that?
Was there anything like that? Nothing I could find. I'm not the best at pulling this out, and my entry wasn't very elegant, but suffice it to say, they are... Well, in your experience, are they usually this organized? Or would this be an outsider, not capital O outsider, but something outside of their organization influencing them?
This isn't something that I would consider to be unusual at all. The Zamisi themselves are pretty angry, vicious people, and they have a tendency to be very collective when they want something.
Would they be collaborating with other nests, or do they tend to operate nest by nest structure? Or is there some grand Duke Zamisi that we need to worry about?
Nothing that's here that's in the United States. I think they're all going to be in Europe or Transylvania. These troops here are on enemy lines, or past enemy lines, I should say. That's why they shouldn't be here. It's probably this raise the red flag for Vasile in this sense. The Zamisi don't have right to this territory at all. They know that.
How quickly could they get word of what went down here to another nest?
Don't know for sure, which is why we've got to hit the other one as fast as we can.
Let's do it.
Is our AV near? It's still nearby, right? Alex is nearby.
Yep.
Always circling low orbit.
So
Yeah.
how long does it take to regenerate SFR?
Well,
1 hour AV ride.
well, generally speaking, you regenerate SFR in like consumption of other energy, so you have to
Okay.
pull it from other creatures.
Okay. Not a problem.
Yeah. Well,
And Barrick is gonna kind of like nod towards that plasma rifle that he's
Mhm.
got, and Dravis would be like, "This was a good find."
he just nods his head. He's like, "Oh, I've only seen one other one, and that's nowhere near here. So you got lucky." Well, Alex touches down. Alex touches down on the inside the street, just outside the, just outside where the slagged corpse is still basically smoldering. He pops his head out the window, and you guys are coming out of the building. He's like, "You guys need another ride?"
You bet.
Bolt.
Like John's just like a little like pointing at like the little hole in his like coat where like it's all healed up. He's like, yeah.
I don't know how this works, but do you want anything off of that body for your stuff?
Stuff. And things.
And he's still a little out of sorts because this is the first time he's actually been hurt in a long time.
It's just, yeah.
No.
I mean, when we were in hell, you were eating things left and right.
Well, I mean, yeah, let's check. He's gonna check. He's gonna just kind of examine the corpses.
Little
While you're
arm in there.
examining it, Ivar's just looking at you like very amused right now that his dream seems so real. And he's like, John, are you hurt? And he like is trying to poke at you because he's not certain if this is a hallucination or not. And if it is, it's a really good one.
He says, no, I'm not hurt now. No, this isn't a dream. Welcome back, Ivar. How are you doing?
Ivar's doing really well. I had good sleep. Feel rejuvenated. Like bull.
Good. You are rejuvenated. And he just kind of takes a sniff, much like your odor. So we're going to do an awareness roll.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Damn! Start off the gate. Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
16 on the dice, 35 total.
and he's still kind of poking at the hole as he's just randomly wrapped around the body and just kind of comes up with something.
Are you just trying to drain more SFR out of the corpse, or are you just trying to do... What are you trying to do with that?
Well, the awareness is he's looking for, because he remembers the emblem or that medallion that was on the one creature.
Ah, yes, you're trying to examine that. I gotcha.
I like material components for ritual spellcasting.
So material components for ritual spellcasting, but the that one. But also, I mean, he's also gonna kind of poke around, going, maybe it has something left in it.
Well, the material is in bad shape. Whatever this was definitely isn't in good condition anymore. The plasma contacts definitely smelted most of it. So, I mean, it really got nuked. But it's something you could probably take back. You had to pull it out from underneath because it had died curled up on its stomach. So you had to reach underneath and pull it free. And you hear this nasty crunching / squelch kind of like come out of the thing. And it's like still got a whole bunch of like scalded skin attached to the outer ribs or outer ridges of it.
He goes, and he goes, I guess, hey, and he tosses it to Alex.
Alex is like, oh, fuck, like this.
It's like, Douglas might want that. And then he just puts his hand on the corpse and sees if he can actually drain some residual energy out of it.
Right, he's just like wiping his hand on the outside of the AV.
So is he able to drain?
There's like 1 or 2 residual SFR, but because the creature is dead, whatever life force was in it is basically departed. So you're getting its last breath, more or less.
Well, he'll take its last breath. So I'll just tack on another 2 SFR.
All right.
Alrighty. This is, I mean...
All I see right now is John looking over and giving this thing the tongue. And even Ivar's going, "What? It is disgusting. What are you doing?"
He's kind of like, he's actually kind of sticking his finger in like the hole and like...
Personally, I see that whole thing with the tongue. And that's where I'm going with
he
it.
looks at Barrick and he says, yeah, I mean, that's going to have to do. I'm not going to have much of a heavy punch next time around. Unless I can feed.
All right.
Don't eat Ivar. He's not lunch.
You should have Colt make you a cool trinket that draws in ambient energy.
Ursame, go lay down. Go lay down. Stop whining at the
I
door.
mean,
Go lay
and
down.
Colt just kind of cocks his head to the side and goes, "Huh? I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, it would technically negate the necessity for me to devour the soul essence of a human, sentient being. But yeah, sure.
Sure.
Would Ivar consider that idea a good idea, to create an amulet that sucks out people's ambient energy around them? Like, I just see all of us getting sucked into his little world.
I mean,
Well,
that already happened.
There could be some complications. That's definitely not something you want to jump right into immediately. So right now, I don't know why, I just feel so tired.
Just like playing 4th edition with some AoE Vampiric Embrace. Just like everyone donates 5 hit points to the caster.
Donates.
Yeah. Well,
Alright, let's hop in the AV.
yeah, you guys hop in and we start in that direction. Richard coming along with, of course. Right now, Douglas kind of chimes in for a short sit rep. It looks like we're making some kind of success. He takes the news with, just kind of a quiet resolution, and then after that, he's gone. Dravis has just kind of got this funny little smirk on his face as we're heading in that direction. We got maybe about, like I said, it's roughly 45, 50 minutes to the next one, but we don't really have any reconnaissance on it.
And John kind of cocks his head to the side and says, "Hey, Firestorm." And he's just looking around like Firestorm's supposed to appear out of nowhere. Yeah, around here, buddy?
On the main comm link, you still see the strange wireframe version of him. He's like, yes, Colt?
Oh, hi. So, Simisi vampires, they have a lot of resources. Could you see who owned that building and see if they own any other buildings that might be similar to the next spot we've gone, and just kind of branch out and just see what holdings they have?
Well, I mean, we can definitely go take a look, but I doubt they're going to have anything on the official paperwork. This nest was completely, underground, not to make it too much of a pun, but it was... They were literally squatting. And probably a good idea, all things considered, given the fact that it would appear that Vasile's spy network is actually pretty good. He keeps tabs on a lot of things. It's actually kind of the reason why Richard's got such a high, such a high accuracy as to where these nests are.
Yeah, I mean, it was a thought. Oh well.
They were at least smart enough to stay off grid, which is hard to do nowadays.
Well, do you think you could, collate potential...
Are there other squatters in the area? You find one group of squatters, chances are there's others.
Like
and
rodents.
squatters know other squatters.
No,
They come
Ivar's
to
the landlord.
Firestorm,
Look, Ivar knows lots about landlord rights. And the
Firestorm
rights
just kind of
tenants.
angles towards Ivar. It's like, oh, you're back. Good to see you, Ivar.
John just kind of
Hello.
lays down in the back of the AV with his arm just draped over. Says, "Yep, he's back."
Ivar didn't go anywhere. I just went and took a nap.
Speaking of,
Some nap.
Riv reaches out over and it's like, I need some juice.
Ivar is just like, okay.
And then John just kind of has his hand like right here, and he goes, "Feed me, Seymour." He just kind of dangles his fingers like that. Come on. No, you want to, buddy. Live a little.
Oh my god. Hustle mode.
Oh, that
How
reminds me
long
to
is
plug my
Riv been
phone in.
running?
My phone's at 2%.
How long has Riv been running low?
I was able to manage our last fights without you. I found power elsewhere.
Which is funny because you didn't actually, you didn't even have to pull the mana drain.
Right. Because I only needed to use like 2 or 3 runes for our last fights. Everything was taken care of for Because I have 9 runes that I can use now, so that's actually a pretty good number.
Yeah.
I could cycle through them in a bit fight if I want.
Well, so as far as that goes, Firestorm is happy to relay that there are plenty of squatters, but none of them of the vampiric persuasion per se. He's just basically keeping an eye on things for Ivar's sake, but in the meanwhile, the trip goes uneventfully. While we come to a landing at another section of town that's in that same vicinity, the feeling here is quite a bit different. And while we're on this descent, it seems that there's a bit more of a busy traffic type feeling.
Are we heading? So we flew for a few hours to get to this first spot, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was
So
like
we're heading
2.5
another
3 hours.
hour.
Yeah, you're heading westward.
Okay.
You guys
so
were
not
more
heading
towards the
back
east coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were more following along the coastline, heading south, and then you guys now you've turned westward into, more of the city proper.
All right. Just wondering if we're gonna end up backtracking all the way back to be like, oh, it turns out our next door neighbors are actually.
Yeah, that's a lot more busy out here, but when you guys touch down, there is, clear signs. Firestorm's just like, I'm getting a lot of interesting police feed. It seems that there's a little bit of action heading just down the block. Most of the feeds have been cut out, which is not a good sign. Obviously, there's something going on that could likely be considered supernatural.
So John's like still like this. It's like, define action. And there's just that little bit of scorn in his voice, like, please don't tell me it's fucked up.
I know, right?
What's
This is supposed to
Ivar's,
be like a
what's
meet and
Ivar's
greet.
danger sense noting?
Music. It's noting music.
It's actually counting
Ivar
this
for
music is
not to
coming
put
from
his
Ivar right
seatbelt
now.
I actually think that's how Ivar's danger sense works.
Oh, so he just has a
Music starts
soundtrack?
playing.
You could use the
Meta
soundtrack
knowledge.
as an indicator, yes, actually.
Oh my gosh, I want
Meta
Ivar
knowledge.
to have a soundtrack. Wait 1 second, I got one for this. Click.
He's vibrating and everyone can hear this. Anyway.
Oh Jesus!
Drumming it out on the windowsill of the AV. Ivar with a kazoo, humming out the tune.
Suddenly it just,
Alright.
Just noticed-
loses all of its presence with the kazoo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the Ivar style. So are we above?
You guys are in the middle of touching down. The street itself is pretty congested. There are a number of people that are moving away from where your presumed next target's going to be. You guys take a street landing. There are a lot of lights. You're much more in the city proper. Yes, baby. I fucking love Castlevania.
I gotta watch that again.
I'm watching it with my daughter right now, and she is loving it. And this show is, it's so fucking good. And the dialogue kills me every time.
When we park the AV, do we park it in like a parking space? Like
Not exactly. We're kind of
we're
like
just dropping in the
inside of
middle
the
of the
street.
street?
We're on the side of the street nearest where some parked cars are. Ground vehicles are having to go around because
Oh, man.
Alex doesn't give two shits about where he parks the
I was
thing.
gonna say, so we're going to be on the police radio for.
The
causing
cops
a
are
pileup on-
apparently already been notified.
Unauthorized AV landing.
Firestorm
The
just
second we land, Riv is gonna light up one of her runes. She's not fucking around here.
Yeah. So, whenever Firestorm tries to actually answer the question, and it's like, I mean action in the sense that there seems to be something of a combat situation happening not more than half a block down this way.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if we can tip the odds in someone's favor.
Normal.
I suppose so, but this is actually a bit more blatant than usual. Since the authorities were already called and it looks like they're headed this way, I don't know, do we have much of a choice, Richard? Richard just scratches his bald head. He's like, we gotta get in there and do what we gotta do. You said the feeds were out, right? And he's like, that's correct. I can't seem to get anything on the cameras. It seems the comms are a little bit sketchy at best. But he just nods his head, definitely supernatural of some kind or another. So, gentlemen, lady, shall we?
So the second that she hops out, some wings blossom from her, and she's like, "I'm gonna scout ahead," and then just shoots off in the direction of the.
Yeah,
Ivar is
Riv goes mercy mode.
Like, no, wait!
John cocks his head to the side and goes, I mean, Barrick, did you see that happening? Yeah, I didn't see that happening. No, not at all. And then he just kind of walks on.
Barrick's gonna switch to his street legal weapon.
Do so. All right.
And then John just like takes his like fancy scarf, kind of wraps it around one hand, and just kind of keeps his left hand cocked on thoughts, on prayers. I'm sorry, prayers. Prayers is the axe, which is actually shaped like a walking stick. So he's just kind of doing like the nonchalant, just like do 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 do. Everything's normal. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
So
Okay.
I'm flying ahead.
Yes. Roll me a combat sense awareness and make a stealth.
Yeah, while you do that, Ivar's trying to blend in as if nothing's there, almost looking to hold back for a little defensive support for the team.
Oh, while she was flying upwards, since the takes a few seconds to get there. These are all rounds that I could take for free, basically. She activated her second rune of her 9, and she's got a little surprise for these guys when she catches eyes. Okay, so combat sense. I feel like I need to like highlight combat sets because I feel like I never see it. There it is, 18.
It's on
stealth,
your, it should be on the front, right?
Oh, okay, that's exploding.
Wow, everybody's just getting them freaking crits right off the bat.
I don't like the front-loading crits, though.
That has never ended well for us.
You get to see the wrecking ball hit you in the face.
Where is stealth?
Oh my balls!
You got
You're welcome, Drew.
you got a 36
go.
on the freaking dice. man.
Combat sense for 36.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing to have on a scout.
Yeah.
16 on stealth, which that sounds par for the course. She's not that stealthy, and has glowing
Probably like,
wings on her
shit!
back.
All right. Well, you blast towards the combat area with speed. Like, it doesn't take much effort whatsoever. The wings propelling you forward. You've got the wind blasting you in the face, and you've got arms back and just coasting on a current of air. When you get up closer, it becomes much more evident. You actually realize the sound of reverberating gunfire is not as distant as what it seemed to be, given the fact that Night City has that constant percussion going on at all distances, pretty much. But you zoom in, and it becomes very prominent. At the intersection that's not too far ahead, it looks like there is a punk knot that has been pushed into the center of the street. You have the large vehicle, which was originally a semi-truck with dual trailers. It was settled in such a way that it blocks the entire street traffic off. You have multiple very much combat-ready and borged-up punks that are trying to take the situation into their own hands by unleashing all forms of like gunfire. There is one housing where you have a 5.56 minigun rattling off into the streetcars, the parking lots, or the parked vehicles alongside the road and in the sidewalk. You've got people ducking for cover. There is screaming, radicalized punks that are starting to move across, jumping on top of cars and shooting things out, grabbing whatever they can from these vehicles. You've got police that are coming from the street behind them, and they're zooming in on this location. While you're scanning the scene and trying to get a sense of what is going on, they don't happen to notice you because they're too busy with the chaos and carnage that are street level. There are a number of individuals that are moving towards this that look to be civilian, but you immediately sense that they are not at all civilian whatsoever. They appear to be something of the variety where likely vampiric, maybe undead of some kind or another, but it's because of the way that they move and the way that they look. You're starting to get to a point now where you kind of recognize how some of these supernatural beings sort of like work their way through a crowd like this with their confidence.
Okay, so just to recap, there's an intersection. In the middle is a bunch of punks just laying waste to the land for some reason. There's
stealing shit and murdering. It's murder, pillage, that's what it is.
Okay. So, but they have a semi-truck blocking the road.
Yeah.
Or trailers, I should say. So on the intersection, in my mind, there's north, south, east, west, right? Which ones are blocked?
MTK. Shit.
So I just for my own mind here, so an intersection.
You were flying west
streets,
on
right?
the south on the south side of the intersection is where the punk knot is. You've got police officers coming from the south to the north, which is going to be up and behind the punk knot. So, in other words, if you want directions, you went straight ahead to your left at the intersection. About just a short ways in is where they started to like cut everything off.
And where are we seeing the not civilians?
Well, these stealth combatants are moving from the south, heading north along that way.
Oh, I thought you said the cops are coming south, coming north.
They are.
So okay, so there's three groups. There's the
Yes.
not, the cops, and then the other boys.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm just writing that down.
Yeah. There's a general clusterfuck occurring.
And that's exactly what Riv's
Want to
gonna
get
say.
involved?
No, that's exactly what Riv's gonna say. Yeah, on comm, saying, "Oh, that's a general clusterfuck." What are you gonna
Feels
say?
like more. What's going on? What do you see?
Well, I see punks, I see cops coming to get them, and I see definitely not civilians. So here's what Riv's gonna do, though. From above, she's going to turn left above the punks.
Yep.
Go over the punks, go over the cops, and then she's gonna fling her gauntlet at the civilians, throwing her iron golem at them and flying upwards. I'm just a drop.
Golem drop. All right.
Hero landing. Hero landing.
John just kind of looks at Peric. So you speak cop? Do you think you think it'd be a good idea to communicate to them that they have assistance and that assistance would not like to be shot at?
Is this a Titanfall?
Yeah, Titanfall.
Yeah.
Nice. Little iron giant much, yeah.
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 That's how Riv's gonna fly away.
Let's. Hey, Firestorm, do you think you can patch our good old special agent retired into the feeds of the police officers?
He said comms are down.
Communications are a little bit difficult right now, but I can try my best if you think it'll actually do something.
Yeah, because I would personally not like getting shot at by cops.
They may not necessarily have any chance. What were those? You said they were not civilians? What do you mean by that, Riv? As your golem's like that, and then lands with a hard thunk, cracking the concrete.
As I'm flying upwards,
it's
like they look very similar to the things we fought back. You said it was north that we came from?
Yeah. Well, we came from the east at this point.
Back east.
Yeah. So he's like acknowledged. Relaying that back, it's like apparently we got multiple vampire contacts intermixed with some kind of from what he's described and what you people seem to call it as a punk knot.
Oh, and by the way,
we should...
I whispered a command into my gauntlet as I was flying, and this is like, fuck them up. Just threw it down.
Well, I can definitely feel your intent. It knows which ones to go after.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So what would? Problem is, I've been playing the Disco Elysium. I'm like, well, I'll use my esprit de corps to talk cop, but what? How would I talk cop? Would I don't know, authority or?
Yeah. You basically assert your authority and you have to get it through. Let me just roll for dear old Firestorm here, see if he can crack some of this.
Like, it's not deception or anything. It's like...
Alright, this is sort of like... You guys are going to be moving in that direction, I'm assuming, since your targets are there.
Yeah.
Okay. While you're on the move, Riv is in the air, kind of keeping bird's eye view. Alex is going to hang back where he's at, let you guys do your thing. Firestorm pipes back in. He's like, alright, I've got tight beam connection between yourself and their encrypted radio bandwidth. You should be able to get a hold of them if you need to.
Alright.
While he's doing that, Ivar would like to do a tactics roll.
Sure.
On what would be perhaps a good defensive position to put the group in if he's wondering if he should start prepping to either throw up his mirror reflection where he can send things back, because since there seems to be a lot of gunfire, everything coming on, to send things back, or he could do his where is it?
B unit.
His reality bend where things sort of bounce back. Or his general, he just sends forth his what is it? He has divine intervention. No, not divine intervention. True faith. If he should be firing any of these off to start protecting the group.
Well, true faith is always a good idea. It helps sort of prevent issues. As far as like a tactical position with that role, your best shot is to stay eastern side of the street, using the corner as cover to kind of take care of anything else, because they're just a bit southbound from that location, which means you guys can get a panoramic view of what's happening, since everything is coming from one area. So they're all coming from south to north. So if you stay on the eastern side of the street, you'll be able to look down and kind of get a pinpoint as to everybody who's there.
Ivar just kind of reaches over to John and says, I've been in this kind of trouble before. Look, over here. And he points out this eastern corner. What you think?
I mean, I'm not inclined to say no. And then he looks at Dravis going, Dravis, would you consider the punks bad people?
And he just looks over, he's like, are you kidding me? They're basically shooting the place up from what Riv was saying. We got to take care of them too.
So you're not going to shoot me if I don't know, feed on them.
And he basically looks over at you, his armor materializes, he's sort of like, not this time. You can hear a little bit of a joke.
It's like, you know what? I'm really starting to like you more than the others. Don't tell them. And then he goes,
heard that.
He goes, don't tell them.
I heard that,
Was that
and
on
I agree.
calm? Did you just put that on calm? You don't like Ivar?
No,
He doesn't like Ivar.
the bastard loves Ivar.
Oh, I love the bastard. He always eats.
And he says, he's doing, oh shit. And then he just kind of starts twitching. And but he's, the thing is, his transformation this time coincides with the armor kind of lobbing up, and all of a sudden you just see Mr. Bigsby, but like metal Mr. Bigsby. So the gigantic metal werewolf is towering over you with his top hat, and he kind of bows and says, fine gentlemen, I do believe it is time to feed once more. And he just tips the top hat and says,
I have a drink for you. I just got it.
Gross.
He says, you know what? That is a fine recommend. And it's like that gnarling, like, snarl of a wolf trying to be a gentleman. It's like, but it's just, I think it's just a fine way to say it. That should help with the rust, you should see. It just brushes it off.
Alright. So.
And Mr. Bigsby is now present.
Okay. Dravis announces immediately, he's like, I'm going to go make sure that we can get some of those civilians out of the area. I'll move ahead like that, and you can see him sprint ahead of the group, moving in that direction.
Right, so Barrick is going to use the tight beam connection and try to use his cop voice.
Alright, so you basically goes like, hey, open a channel. Firestorm's like, channel open.
With 23 authority.
Nice. Yeah.
And he's just going to say, all units be advised, we have an eye in the sky. There are two parties. One is coming up from the direction that Riv had seen. He's going to give accurate directions of the layout.
Right.
They are in body armor, moving stealthily. You may not see them. You also have friendlies in the area. We are a group of irregulars.
Pay no mind to that golem on the street.
The golem is one of ours. The robot's one of ours.
Robot.
He's not going to call it a golem. Yeah, the mech. The mech is one of ours.
But don't forget about Mr. Bigsby.
Also another mech.
Ours too.
Just another mech. They're all mechs. Because we can't
experimental
reveal that
technology.
Supernatural, right?
It's like, this is Patrol 155. Who's on this channel? Identify yourself.
This is Special Agent Leon Barrick, retired. We are part of a
elite task force,
private security in the area.
There you go. And it's like, this is an encrypted channel. It's like, this is an encrypted channel, Lieutenant. You should need. What were you trying to report? And make it quick.
I'm trying to report that there are other units you may not see in the area. and we are friendlies.
You just hear a pause, just sort of like, acknowledge. Make sure you stay out of the way, though. Like that, and just goes on. I mean, you tried. If they're acknowledging you, so they're not telling you to back off. They're taking you as private security, but they're just basically like, we need to do our job. So they don't realize the scope of the situation yet, which, how could they? But it looks like they might take a slightly, back point, a slightly further back perimeter point instead of where they would have taken it.
Yeah, so, and I'll say on comms to everybody else, gave him the heads up. Let's go do what we do best.
That's all we can do,
Hook
isn't
him
it?
up.
But these are civilians, even though they're police. As in, remember how I was wet behind the ears when you guys pulled back the veil?
But
Get these gentlemen back home to their families.
He goes, but they break so easily.
Yes, I know.
At that point,
How terrifying.
Mr. Bigsby is going to do two rolls. First is going to be his tactics, 22, and that's going to be assisting him with his stealth roll.
Okay.
And black armored mecha werewolf, according to Barrick.
Yes, they're all mech.
Wow, 22. So he's going to try to melt in. So this gigantic werewolf is going to try to melt into the werewolves to do ambush tactics and feed on the first juiciest target he can see.
Well, you guys are going to head up that way, so you've got...
So the tactics is the best way to stealth through.
Right. I had to find one thing here. I could have sworn I had him. So I've got this one. Is this it? I'd be surprised if it was. So Dravis will be heading it up in front. I got to roll for him real quick. So he owes out. He ends up sending some sort of. He sends off a few rounding shots, not really taking aim, and starts to slide into the mess of cars that are that are under fire presently. And he's starting to move through that, trying to pull the crowds away and make sure that they aren't being too heavily targeted. He's more or less trying to get like women, kids, other like drivers and other civilians out of the main group. You can see several shots kind of skim off his armor as he's moving through it. He topples one vehicle up onto its side, creating a cover point, and starts ushering some people through, telling them to keep low and starting to take covering fire for them. And then where you're at, you've got several individuals that are in the midst of combat. It looks like the golem is basically in the heat of battle with 3 or 4 of these vampires, and more or less they are having a massive super brawl just to the left of the friggin' punk nut. One of the actual vamps gets tossed into the front end of the semi-truck, causing the radiator and most of the engine to crumple inward as he ends up taking hits from multiple sides, trying not to leave too much of his defenses open. But I mean, like they're hitting at rapid speeds. You can see blurs just going back and forth, making impacts. It's managing to keep up, but there's a lot of action happening at this point, and the sound is off the charts loud. That minigun that's firing off. It's just making everything like extraordinarily, almost agonizing with how loud it is. Yeah.
Sound dampener time.
Yeah.
Barrett doesn't want tinnitus.
Who does? There we go. Gotta find the right one. Okay, so as far as like the juiciest looking one, multiple vampires on the street. You could have your pick of one of them since they haven't really seen you yet. One of the punks in the back, who looks to be all cammed up, is firing a little hotter than usual, and you can see that he's got the full breadth of insanity working through as the combat stims are just pushing through his body. I mean, his muscles are pulsing. So
he's full of vitality. So we're gonna do a stealth ambush on him.
He might taste a little spicy.
I know. Well, I do like spicy things.
he's a bit juicy.
He's It had a funny taste.
Ha ha ha.
music is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Right.
There was a firefight. God damn it. I love Willem Dafoe, man.
One of the best movies of all time.
God,
What
that's
movie is
actually it. That's perfect. By the way.
A movie with Willem Dafoe and Christopher Walken. That's what I want.
John Malkovich, just for good measure.
Oh my
What would you do with all of that dry humor? Like,
Throw in Gary Oldman. Mix.
yeah, just a little bit, and add a little cheese to that wonderful wine fest. Like,
It would be
dry heat.
Oh my god, they actually all starred in a movie in 1980 called Heaven's Gate.
oh wow.
Oh, was it about the cult?
Tough personality.
Jeff Bridges was in it. Chris Christopherson. Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Last time I saw Christopherson was in Blade. So, Bill, that's one of the Worgen from. Wow.
Yeah. Perfect picture, though.
Ah, here he is.
It's
I
a
found it.
western. It's an epic western.
Come on. I'm gonna pull that up. So he's full of vitality. Are you gonna make your rolls there, sir, to snag him with your chains or however what you're gonna do?
Oh no, he doesn't have that much SFR late. The reason he's Mr. Bigsby is because he's ambushing from stealth. His tactics was to basically blend in with the shadows with his stealth to find
yes.
the best avenue for hunting, and then he was just going to.
Oh,
Pounce.
he was just gonna go out and pounce. Okay, so you're moving
Yeah,
along. All right, everybody else, let's go ahead and actually get our combat sense up so we know who's moving when.
Mine was 38, so gotta
Wow.
beat that.
Well, you're also up fucking top. You're like, yeah.
that's-
Just grenade, grenade, grenade.
She's just
Oh,
like,
I should use my flashbangs.
When you said that you were gonna drop, and before you said
She's a
golem,
lethal
I was
pigeon.
like, you're just gonna grenade the area?
yeah, Riv's new code name, Angry Pigeon.
Yeah. Riv onto 38.
I really know what's going on.
Yeah. Not only that, you're also very much first.
And it's very in your nature to just be like, alright, and just go like flying off while we're still like, alright, let's figure out where the combatants are. Riv's like, yeet! Yeet!
I yeeted myself.
It brings them to us.
I bring the pain.
Eh. Okay, so let's see here. We know Drew will be
Bill, that-
last, regardless, and we got that going on, and then. All right. Well, anyway, so Riv, what is your move exactly?
Let's see. Let me look at my gear. So from above, she's gonna call out to everyone. It's like, I'm dropping a flashbang. I'm gonna fly towards the psychos, or I mean the punks, and just like.
You just dropping flashbangs on them?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's very helpful.
Yep.
But I make sure everyone else knows. And since I heard Scott, I say, Scott, tell our allies as well.
Oh yeah.
Please warn them.
Aerial support incoming.
No,
Right.
flashbangs incoming.
Well, right.
Not just- but aerial support could be anything. You need to close your eyes and shut your ears.
Flashbangs incoming. Open your mouth, close your eyes, shut your ears.
You'll be in for a surprise. What
You
do I
gotta
draw?
have your mouth open.
What do you draw? What do I? I'm
That's
chucking
melee.
a grenade.
It's melee.
Melee? Oh,
Yeah.
great. I love it. 26.
All right. Well, how many you
Hit the
dropping?
ground.
You can get up to 3 of them, so...
Seriously?
Yeah.
Damn. I'm gonna drop 2.
All right. Just be... Chink!
Yeah. Yeah, that's... So I swoop in, and the other thing I'm gonna do is just let everyone know what's going on. Like, I'm gonna be a scout. Think fast, Chuckle Nuts!
Alright, so you drop 2 of these flashbangs. You've got one that lands right near to where the punk knot is, up close to where you've got the minigunner. The other one lands more towards the other side where the vamps are sort of locked in combat with your golem. There's only a hesitation for maybe 2.5, 3 seconds right before you hear the loud pop and the huge flash. The one that was running the minigun starts screaming, holding his face, and he ends up falling out of the seat from like the heavy gun that he was working with. You don't know if the vampires are actually afflicted by it per se. It's hard to know. But the golem, of course, is unaffected anyways, and he seems to get a minor reprieve the moment those flashbangs go off. Oh, here we go.
Oh, should you, since I have you have the golem sheet, so you know what his powers and stuff are, so I guess you'll let me know if he's hurt. I would know, right?
Yes, you're aware of what damage he takes, if any.
If any is the key.
You're right. Let's see here. Right, okay. Oops. And...
What's going on, Bill?
Yep. Alright, so...
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
The gay bomb.
That's up there with the dinosaur. Or the dragon.
Oh, clear it. Give me a second.
For our viewers at home, we're watching inappropriate GIFs that don't translate over the feed. Sorry.
There.
Like, it was under grenade. I swear to God.
I believe it.
I was like, girl, like,
You know, I thought that was going to be something from out of the movie I just recently watched, because there's some shit that's just like that. But not the gay part, just the grenade. Anyways, Bill, you're up next regardless, so...
okay, he's going to basically use his 2 melee attacks to grapple, and then his 3rd melee attack is going to be the chomp down with his basically his maw right here. So he's going to dig his claws in like this and then chomp down, and then he's going to devour.
Okay.
So 3 melee attacks.
Yep. Roll 3 of them dice.
And since one claw is thoughts and one claw is prayers. Let's see, that's... oh no, we're just treating as his claws. That's right, that's 19.
He rolled another D19.
D19!
Nice, but it's a 1, so... Ugh. Oh!
Yikes!
What? Man, you guys are not kidding about those front-loaded crits.
I'm serious. So he like
Holy
tries to
damn.
bind up, but he at least gets one hand on him, I think, right?
Yeah.
No?
No.
Okay.
So you appear, and you were trying to get for you were going for the big muscle guy, right?
Yeah, from
So-
stealth.
You come out from behind one of these vehicles. Mind you, the 2 flashbangs have just gone off. The guy's just shaking his head a little bit, but you can tell that the stims have got him so riled up that the flashbangs don't have the effect that would be desired. When you emerge, straight up, because of your appearance and the rest of it, the guy's like, what the fuck, like that, and just like steps back, swipe miss. You end up getting like a minor, like really close when he just jukes to the side because he's just wearing like a dirty wife beater and like just jeans and combat boots, like nothing to really armor him up because of how crazed he is. And of course the third one misses, but you only miss because his panic mode causes him to literally jump back almost 2.5 cars.
As Mr. Bigby says, "Oh, don't run away. Grandma just wants a kiss."
Alright, Scott. He's in pursuit. You're up.
Alright, so I trigger my adrenal booster.
Yeah.
Because if they're moving, I'm going to move.
Yeah.
So that bumps my reflex by 1 for the next 5 turns.
Nice.
It's D6 plus 2. Oops. So, 5 turns. I've got a 11 reflex. And that does nothing to my scores. But, I'm gonna, take advantage of the distraction provided by Mr. Bixby. And with my handgun, do 6 at the target, at the big muscle dude.
Yeah.
And then reassess and perhaps throw another 6 somewhere else.
So you're basically firing 6 shots at muscle guy and then taking shots at other punks that are in the area?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are at least 4 or 5 of them that you can see. There are 2 that are on vehicles, the one muscle guy being one of the 2. There's another one with the wild and crazy tech hair and the shredded clothes. You've got the guy who was sitting in driver's seat that was in the semi-truck, who's now trying to get out since the front end of it got completely smashed by the golem and vampire conflict that's been going on. And you've got several moving through the crowd that have been, or like 2 more, that are moving in amongst the crowd, grabbing stuff out of there, any valuables, things like that, or harassing the people that are still alive and coming through.
Yeah, I don't think I can shoot at them.
Okay.
I don't want any collateral damage, but...
Alright, so first 6, you said the first 6 shots are going towards muscle dude, so fire away.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, that actually bumped my martial arts. Okay.
Yeah.
So that puts me to, a 30.
Ooh, piece of candy.
I was going to say, your reflexes going up will have an effect on your shots.
Alright, so... Shot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and an exploder.
Ooh.
I really would like to think Barrick is doing it like shot
So
1,
that's 11.
shot 2, shot 3, shot
Yeah, it's
4,
not boring.
shot 5.
I mean, it's aimed. He's cling, 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 because he's like anticipating their movements, and he's shooting 1 to make them move, and then to get them away from the crowd, and then he lines up the 39 and the 41 to just like drop them down. So this is just with my let me see what these are like my regular rounds. These are against humans.
Yeah,
so
you're
it's
just using...
It's just a 26, yeah.
Yeah. Well, in any event, there is...
It's AP6.
Yeah, you're like... You just take these aim shots, you're like just taking them out. All 6 rounds hit their target. There's just one burst of gore after the next as you end up taking shots here through the sternum, the 3 here, up to the neck, and then you end up taking the last 2 in the head. And the guy just drops out of view, very dead. So that was like your first 6 shots.
Yeah, so then I'm gonna start picking targets.
Alright. So you've got, like I said, you've got multiple targets in and around the crowd right now, including vampire targets. You can't discern their number, but they are moving in and around the golem, which is, like much safer to fire in that general vicinity than others.
Yeah, so on the reload is the hallowed rounds, and then that will be towards vamp targets.
That chip is ridiculous.
So these are towards vamps.
All right.
Nice.
Ooh, God.
Oh, and I got a crit.
That you did.
So 37, 47, 37, 37, 38, 35.
All right. So you start taking shots. 3 of them end up taking the majority of those rounds if they don't. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Wrong dice.
Count down my ammo.
Yeah. So, despite the fact that they are moving in erratic motions, you're able to track where they're going, and multiple shots make contact. There are 2 of them that are actually wounded, and one of them that takes a round that seems to shrug it off. But I mean, it stops the conflict in and around where the golem is standing for a short moment, because you see those contacts get made, each and every last one of them. So you don't miss a single shot. Just some of the 2 of them take the wounding a lot more seriously than the one.
All right.
Yeah. Damn.
That's another 6. Reload.
Yep.
All right, Ivar, what you got?
We got
Ivar's
Dravis that's
gonna
going
do
to come
a
up next,
Oh,
though.
Dravis.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
Dravis,
Dravis
and then we
next?
got Dravis and the enemy. Drew's always going to end up being last because of his combat
Oh,
paralysis. But Dravis, luckily enough, doesn't have much that's been going on. Since there's gunfire that's been ceased, you see that Dravis starts pushing a canal through the center part of the street, widening out the vehicles and moving people through, and he ends up basically tossing cars over onto their side, so it creates a double-sided protected avenue for civilians to start moving away from the conflict. So he's doing his job pretty well. One of the vamps that actually took some of the shots from Barrick is going to pinpoint. You can see him stop mid-track for just a moment. He ends up halting his position for just a second. He's wearing what looks to be like a business suit. You can see the 2 smoking holes where your contact had been made. He's got slightly longer hair and a beard, and he flashes his teeth just once, and you can see that his eyes are starting to burn red a little bit. Looks like he's pretty close to frenzy, but he ends up rushing your position, Barrick, right off the bat.
Sounds good. I'm assuming in that AV time I fully regen and everything.
Huh?
I'm assuming in that flight time to
Oh
get over
yeah,
here,
you're full health
yeah.
by now. Yeah, the nanosurgeons have done their job. Yeah, here we go. All right.
This is good music, by the way.
If he's rushing at me for a melee,
Yeah, he's coming at you for melee attacks. I need you to make 5 defensive rolls. Or excuse me, hold on, I gotta make sure I'm right.
oh 5. Okay.
Hold on.
Well, I did 1.
3.
With a
I
dodge.
need 3. I need 3 defensive rolls. Sorry.
Okay. So 19, 25, and a 20.
Okay.
For 3 dodge rolls.
All right. So he comes screaming in at you.
Unless I can somehow use my martial arts.
Well, if you want to parry, yeah, you can parry, but it's not going to be the same as like if you're shooting.
No, exactly. No, it's fine.
How much higher is your martial arts versus dodge? Just out of
Dodge is
for the
so
next
the
one.
total. My martial arts is 23. Dodge is 17.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'd use your martial arts for parries next time since you've got the strength to hold it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he comes in there. You end up taking 2 swipes. He comes in so fast, it's kind of like shocking. But he comes in. You take 1 blow to the inside of your ribs and 1 to the back as he comes around. He misses the 3rd shot as it goes to the back of your head. But you only take a few stumbling steps forward. And your armor is what now?
So for my torso, my armor is 88.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so more or less, you take 30 at the side, and you take 30 at the back.
All right, so 60.
Yep. Because his claws are armor piercing, so he managed to
Nice.
get through.
All right, the problem is now he's in range of melee, and I have my own claws, and they're holy claws.
Yeah, they are. But he don't know that.
He doesn't know that. I also have a pop-up
now.
shotgun in my hand.
Yeah, you do. All right. Okay, and then Colt, same thing. There is another one of these vampiric individuals that want your blood. They are after you.
Blood.
I need three defensive checks from you as well.
Okay. Well, let's see. What's higher, melee or dodge?
It's gonna use like either. Yeah, it's gonna use like something to parry if you have like a weapon is melee, or martial art if you don't. If you're free-handed, unless your martial art incorporates a weapon of specific sorts.
I mean, he's got his giant metal claws. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's dodge. Damn it. Okay. So he's going to do 2 dodges, like two. He's going to do 2 evasions, and then he's going to do a melee parry grab.
Okay.
Because he wants to grapple and try to devour.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, 2 evades and one parry. Yep.
And he'll put a devour at the end of that parry. What if he makes contact? Wow.
Perfect.
It is actually. 27,
Nice.
24. And 23 for the grapple, and if it makes contact, he's going to instantly devour.
So the grapple does make it. You'll be able to devour. You won't be able to hold on to him for longer than that instant moment that you grab him, so you'll be able to drain on that first fight, but he'll wrestle out. On the other hand, you take... You end up taking another 60 points of damage yourself as this thing comes in low.
Armor-piercing claws, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, it starts moving in, and you take it claws to the thigh and then claws to the chest, and then you just grab his third swipe, and he feels the shocking pain of you actually drawing the SFR out of him, and then he like wrenches himself free and does that little hop back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that roll though.
Yep.
So that's 5d10.
And Drew, when he's done with his drain, you're up, man.
Wow. How many successes?
That's 3 successes.
So that's 3 successes with a basically rank 5.
Yeah, so 15
So
SFR, I believe.
Well, plus an additional 1 per SFR rank. It's absorbs 1 SFR from the target, plus 1 additional SFR per rank in the power.
Right. That means so you have what's your rank in the drain again? Oh my god.
5.
5. Yeah.
5.
That's 15 SFR. We
Okay,
just
so
absorbed 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah. That was a good drain. He ain't doing too good at all.
Okay.
Dude, that chick is fucking dumb. Anyway,
Wonder how it ends.
probably okay. Yeah, so Drew, I mean, you're up at this point. Yes?
Can I trigger my regeneration, or do I have to wait till next turn?
You can just wait until you're up and then trigger it. It's just kind of one of those things where you can just start it off. It doesn't require you to do anything else other than say, hey, it will eat your rate of use. That's what it will do.
Okay, thank you.
Ivar, a while back, preemptively rolled an awareness 22 and a tactics 17. And what he wants to know from his vantage point here on the east side is what is the biggest potential threat to not only the civilians but to the group as a whole. He's kind of looking for that threat to try and neutralize it.
Well, right now the vampires on the street level are going to be their biggest threat because if they start taking damage, they'll be looking to drain nearby blood sacs to specifically the one that the cult just hit. He'll be looking for food as he's going to be nearly frenzied immediately.
So the vampires are a bigger threat than the minigun.
Oh, yeah. Well, the minigun guy, he got blasted with that flashbang, so he's out of his seat and not firing anymore.
Okay, that's fine. And how many vampires were there?
You're not sure, but visibility right now is anywhere from 7 to 10 so far.
Okay, and are they within the zone of Ivar's reality shift?
They're at the edge of it, yeah. You've got, what, 120, I believe? 120 feet?
No, I think he's more. Hold on, let me look it up. Where's his reality shift at? Ah, there it is. He's a level 4. He's at 180 feet.
180, okay. So yeah, they're in it. They are in it. They're near the edge. Like beforehand, they would have just been inside your border by a little bit. They're inside of your reach.
Okay. I have a question if Ivar needs to roll on this. What I'm curious about is, since Ivar has true faith, and he understands the divine at levels that others don't, and he understands that he can cause atoms to speed up, can he imbue atoms with true faith that are away from his body and almost speed those up to almost the speed of light, and in the area, almost like outside and sort of cocooned around some of these vampires that he senses, basically speed up the atoms to heat the pure like wrath of the sun with sort of a divine, and when I say sun here, I mean more of like the divine through the atoms themselves.
So you can create like a divine light of a sort or something like that. True faith is stuck to your person. Like you can't like shove it forward or off of yourself. It is you that it emanates from.
That is okay. Well then Ivar, in a sense, what he's doing is he's trying to speed up the atoms around these creatures to create heat and light directed at them.
Yeah.
In the sense to burn these motherfuckers out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shadow's version of Scorching Ray. Continue.
They know casting light on a coin and throwing it down the hallway.
What is Ivar's target, please?
It's basic, so 7.
And you just see Ivar kind of watching everything quietly, like in the shadows, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Let there be light."
Wow.
What Ivar do?
And Ivar is gonna he's gonna bump that one up.
Okay, that means 4 successes plus. Yeah, that's considered a critical, which is not unusual. Okay, so you can target four of these vampires with that, or one with all 4, or you can split, mix, and match any way you like it.
And was I, with my tactics roll, able to determine which one is the biggest threat right now to the group? Like, did I like rank them?
Well, your danger sense would actually be the indicator you're going to use. So, your danger sense is definitely indicating the one directly to your left down the street, straight southward, that is nearest the golem but still engaged in a fight with it, is probably the more powerful of the ones you can see so far. All the other ones seem to be about roughly the same level, but he's the only one that's got a little bit of an uptick in terms of power. He's the more dangerous.
He's getting 3 directed right at him. And that last one is going to the next is going to the one that Ivar considers dangerous but also generally weak.
Okay.
What did Ivar end up doing?
Basically, he ended up creating a focused beam of heat and light energy that, but he actually created 4 of them, so basically 4 fucking lasers.
4 photon packets.
Okay, let's see here. So, the hilarious part is that both targets rolled 1 on their defense. They don't even know you're going to be doing this. So, the total damage for each one of these, I believe, is supposed to be like the level of your manipulation, which you said it was what, 4?
Yeah, he's at level 4.
Right. And then your willpower is 10.
Correct.
Yeah. So each one of those rays is doing 50 damage apiece, if I'm not mistaken.
So he just dropped that big guy 150, and then somebody else is getting 50 just as a here.
Yeah, so...
Which would explain that he had 3 degrees of success and the luck kind of accidentally hit somebody else.
So, yeah, it more or less, they aren't necessarily going to be prepared for something like that. Plus, it's something that is their immediate threat. So, vampires especially are adverse to, heat and fire and that kind of thing to begin with. Lopan. I fucking love that movie, man. It's like I watched that insane so many times. So yeah, I mean, you're just let there be light, and you're like that, and of course you get these beams of red light that just shoot outward with extraordinary speed. Action! They get shot out at extraordinary. The one that you're targeting that's directly southward from the corner of the street that you're on ends up taking the brunt of all 3. There's this massive scream, and he's just caught aflame off his back, his side, the rest of it. You can see him just wriggling and writhing around. The other one that you hit ends up taking a similar impact, but here to the side and chest and so on, sending him out of sight. You can see the smoke going on. He blasts with this high-speed celerity movement. Just goes whoosh. You just follow the trail of smoke as it moves away further westward across the street there. And we are now back to Riv here, who is hovering above watching this chaos.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Have they noticed Riv?
Right now, they seem to be very preoccupied with the ground units causing havoc.
Ground unit.
I'm okay with that. I guess I'm going to do an awareness check and see what would be a good target for me, since it sounds like there's lots of targets.
Feel kind of invisible. Oh, shit.
Alright, so with that roll, do I have a pretty good idea what would be a good target?
If you're focusing on anything, you're probably going to want to take charge of the vampires that are in the midst of being in the midst of conflict with your golem. Any one of them is a good plan to go after. You've got several ones.
I'm going to fire off 3 magic bolts then.
Alright.
Let's see here.
What was the movie with Kurt Russell where he was the crazy captain hired by Martin Short to ride their boat?
Captain Ron.
Oh, Captain
Ron. Thank you.
Amazing
Overboard
movie.
was a very different movie.
A little bit.
Alright, so that's going to be roll 1d10 plus my melee, which is that.
Oh, God.
Oh, I got to do it 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times, right? For each shot.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Ooh, bravo.
Riv.
Wow. Alright. 1 goes askew, 2 hit their mark. Are you hitting 2 separate targets or just 1?
Fire them all at the same guy that's closest to my golem.
Okay. So, the one who is currently on fire ends up taking 2 or 3 of the bolts. Damage for those bolts again was...
According to this, it's 63 damage, and it's AP mundane.
Yep, which means no problemo. Okay. Wow. Yeah, he's taking a pounding, this guy. So he finally gets up at this point. You can see there are... I'll have Riv do a combat sense awareness one more time while we switch over to our next man in the fight. I believe that is you, John.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'm going to use 6 SFR to gain back 60% of my health.
Ooh, nice.
So that's going to be down to 12 SFR.
Yep.
So he is. Okay.
Yeah,
He's up to 144 again.
Okay. By the way, that regeneration is going to look terrifying because it's the same kind of thing that you'd see in a lot of, like, almost like you'd see in most animes, where you take the damage and then they just suddenly just seal up and it's gone.
Yeah, so you just kind of see Mr. Bigsby, like you see like the rents in the metal that are bleeding and gushing, and he just kind of shakes it off as the armor regenerates with him.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Because the crown's tied to his health. So he just like that, and then he just cocks his head to the side, goes, sniffs, and he's like hunting out the closest target he could feed on. At least.
No, for a second I thought you actually had your character saying sniffs.
Sniff, sniffs. Gentleman sniffs.
Sniff, sniffs. Bacon, bacon, bacon,
Yeah.
bacon!
Yiff yiff, motherfucker.
Oh.
This game's not fun anymore.
Did you say yes?
Oh. Okay, so he's looking for a new target. Moving on, please.
Yeah.
Suddenly he targets Scott. Anyway, or whoever the
like
hell
it.
said that.
Bad target.
Bad touch.
All right.
Bad touch.
So what was your combat sense awareness? 27? Oh my god.
Yeah, mine was 27.
No! It's not that kind of server. Anyway. Uh-oh, I have my visualizations.
So
What?
yeah, he's looking. So he just regenerated, and he's looking for a target to feed. What's the closest one to him?
There we go. Oops. Hold on. Having a minor dysfunction here. There it goes.
Love that drum line.
There. Eh. It's, oh my god, why? Scott, man.
For that reaction, because I care.
Alright, so you've got a couple of targets that are in the nearby vicinity. I'll get the music to come back here in just a second because it's acting goofy.
Yeah, so he's looking for another target to feed on. I mean, he's down too low, and Mr. Bigsby is just Bigsby is actually getting into more of a like uncivilized state. Let's just put it that way.
He passed tea time. He's somebody knocked over his crumpets.
Alright, so
Some tea, crumpet.
how do you wish to proceed? I mean, you find one that's emerging from nearby, they're coming around, they sort of flow right through and then land on this side of the punk nut. You know, he looks like a casual citizen, but he's got like the short cropped hair, he's got the overly angular features, you can see that there's a ring in his ear. Like, he's got the paler skin, so he's rocking out the vampire look, but he's got the more pretty boy type expression, but he, you know, realizes that you're hunting him down, and so it does that crouch, and that will be the target that you end up landing on.
That'll be his indication. So, oh my God, really? 22, 1, and 26. So let's just play that into character. So Mr. Bigsby is just becoming more uncivilized, and he's entering his frenzied state. and you can kind of see that like John's almost trying to wrestle control over him because like there's like shifting in his motion.
Yeah.
So in one of the shift of his motions, like to take control of the frenzied SFR fiend, that's the one.
Right.
So Mr. Bigsby just kind of he reaches out with one claw with a 22, and then as he's reaching out with the other claw, that's when John tries to like wrestle control, like just this thing is like, okay, dude, calm down.
Right.
And then he just kind of and he goes, and then Mr. Bigsby just takes control again and goes, just like jaws out, clamping down.
And while you're basically these motions are swift, and you see the vampire counter them. It looks like he's got a fair amount of martial arts to his name because he ends up just batting off the second, the claw that he just stands back and evades the third, the actual strike. When you go down to actually get him with your mouth, you see him slide underneath and jerk. He like just grabs the fur that's underneath here, slides underneath and jerks downward, causing you to go straight forward and land on all fours. But he ends up sliding between your legs and coming out the back side and whirling back to face you again.
So he didn't land on anything, huh?
Well, so you've got Mr. Bigsby on all fours now because he got jerked downward, but he ended up sliding between his legs, but he stood back up after the slide and turned around to face his opponent. So more or less, like he couldn't slam Bigsby's head into the ground like he intended, but he did manage to counter that movement very well.
Riposte.
Yes, indeed.
Riposte.
Okay, so I have to check this again. Scott, you have multiple targets starting to converge on that same point. Ken, this is where your observation will come into play, is whenever Barrick is about ready to basically take his shots. You notice something terrible happening that's out there at the police line. You realize that they haven't moved in since they've all gotten parked, and there are at least 4 patrol cars there, equaling out to another. There's going to be about 9 patrolmen that should have been present at this point that you were suspecting. The only difference is that these patrolmen have become something else. You actually notice them shuddering and twitching, screaming, hollering, all this kind of thing. And they start to move on all fours like enormous hairless wolves starting to rush towards the main battle area there. You can see they rip through all their clothes, their uniform, everything is coming loose. So now you've got these strange, almost chitinous-like dire wolves starting to rush the main combat zone.
So her reaction is, ah, shit.
Player 4 has entered the game.
The cops are... No, it's the cops we had before, right?
Yeah, it was the cops that had showed up and set up a perimeter, but somehow or another they've been transmogrified, and you don't know how or why.
So, I mean, it's, the cops are werewolves, I think. That's what it looks like.
Except for they don't have fur. It looks more like chitinous. They look really demented, and they're running on all fours as opposed to being upright wolves. And bipedal.
They look like demon wolves.
Are they
the cops are demon wolves?
They're running toward the main combat, but like...
Yeah, at speed.
Versus the punks, versus the vampires,
so
versus
if I remember
us?
right, it was the punks, the cops, and then the vampires, right?
Yes, there were vampires and cops coming from the same direction. Vampires were closer, the cops were further out. They were further south.
Oh,
so the cops... the cops were further south.
I wrote it down different.
Yep.
Alright, I'll correct my notes.
So are they running to engage us, or...
Not sure yet. All you know is that they are headed your way and fast.
Is there still that vampire who, like, ran up and wrecked me?
Yeah, he's still...
next to me?
Yeah, he's still there.
Alright. So, my
point,
left arm, I'm right next to vampire. So I'm going to claws out. He's in melee range, and take a swipe at him with my Holy Ripper claws.
Holy diver.
And using my commando martial art, my standard law enforcement division hand-to-hand combat martial arts. with my melee skill of 3.
So your
Yes,
martial arts would be what, 23, right?
Yeah, martial arts is 23 and my melee is 3.
Right. You won't combine those two for the hand-to-hand strikes. So you'll use your
will I
martial
just
arts.
do the 23?
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, the only exception is your gun kata. That's the only difference.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so 32
Yeah. Nice.
on that. And if I can get if I can land it, because they're claws, right? My goal is to drive it into the ground if I can, and hydraulic press him into the ground.
Man,
Like it.
Because my hydraulics do 3 times crushing damage.
That's what I like to hear.
it's pretty bad whenever I'm rooting for you guys to fucking knock these shitters out. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. Well, you go for a swipe, and it looks like he just was like about ready to come approaching forward because he had made those slashes. You correct where you were standing. The claws come out. When they pop free, you can see him just immediately hiss because he realizes that they are not normal. You do the swipe, and you can see him just basically pull back just enough to get, they all just go right by. And so he just jukes and dodges and comes out to the side. He ended up rolling, a crit on his freaking dodge.
I'll do it.
Yep.
All right. So then my question is with
What?
it's the Dollar General or whatever of Australia.
Oh, I love Poundland.
So I have the advantage of Range Master, which gives me an extra attack with ranged weapons.
Right, which means that you would be able to follow up with your gun, despite the fact you missed with your melee.
Right, that's right, because the way it's worded is it's an extra attack with ranged weapons.
Yes. So you'd be able to get, you get one attack ranged every round that you normally wouldn't have. You normally would have just had to swipe and that would have been it, but yes.
All right.
Which is another reason why I ranged.
Ridiculous, since he's right there to pop up shotgun.
Nope.
Okay. So
right here.
That's the plan. While he's on his back foot dodging away, I want to follow up with a sunflower rounds point blank range.
Oh, fuck me. Alright.
So that's the plan there. And
It's a pretty good plan.
It's a super shotgun in his arm with nitro rounds on top of it.
so does shotgun count as rifle?
Yes.
Okay. So rifle is a 4.
Yeah, buddy.
So 35 to the face with the blessed sunflower slugs.
Oh, yeah. So you go, whew, swing and a miss. You can see him just dodge back. He's got, like you said, he's on his back foot doing that dodge back, and you go like that. You hear this shunk.
It pops up out of my arm.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you're just like that. So you're just like that, and you see the barrel pops out. His eyes go, and you're like, flap! Like it's nasty. You catch him right here at the chest, the neck. All of that disappears in a purple yogurt spray. It just explodes apart. And then you have the upper cavity of the chest. Because of the fact that it was blessed, you literally see it turn to ash and just go all the way out, going from the chest downward in this massive dispersal. Then you actually have all of the scat that hits your face from the result of it does the same thing, just comes off as ash.
And we'll say Barrick literally does the swipe, dodge this.
He would.
He would, It's one of his favorite movies from his childhood.
Well done, that's one of the vampies down. God damn. Fucking style points.
It was a feint, right? That was to get him off.
Don't get him off.
Came all over the place. All right. And then wherever looks the best place for Barrick to be, he'll move in that direction.
All right. You'll probably just have to maneuver to where you can give cover to Dravis, who's starting to move civilians out still.
Yeah.
You guys are still, there's still people crowded, and he's trying to get him through.
What's Richard been doing this whole time?
Richard has been, somewhere else. He's vanished. He didn't say where he was going, but he, went into the building and just went, which is a good question.
Ducked into a phone booth.
I thought it never said it.
Came out.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's vanished. So he's doing something. You know that he's not wasting your time. He's just not presently on the current battlefield that you can see.
What an asshole.
Alright.
That was a good round for Barrick.
Yeah.
That was
badass for Barrick is what that was. Shit. Alright, so, John, a little frenzied. You've got the guy that's right behind you. He ends up throwing 3 attacks your way.
Wait, what did Dravis do?
He's still funneling people through the canal, trying to get people to escape.
All right.
He's like sort of a non-combatant, but he's still moving things, guarding where they're coming through.
So he's going to do kind of
What the hell?
dot.
True. What the fuck got you, man? What's up?
Drew, do we need to take a break?
You're
muted.
He found something. Yeah, get ready, guys. I'm gonna wait my round until he's released what he's got.
Oh my god, no! I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we don't really lose him like that. I get fucking cars touching.
Oh god.
Okay. Anyway, so.
Oh, that made me cry.
So, Mr. Biggsy's on all fours with his back, so he just kind of does a roll.
Yep.
A roll dodge out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to just kind of parry, grab, and try to devour.
Yeah.
Because at this point, he's just on the defensive, so he's just going to be reactive.
Alright.
What'd you find, Drew?
Gotta wait for my turn.
Okay.
I was looking for something for what Ivar's gonna try, and I found more than what I was looking for.
Okay.
Okay, so 25.
Gotcha.
Are you shitting me? Really?
Oh my
You're using
goodness.
up all the
Use
ones.
some of your luck.
I'm done with luck.
You,
I thought
We've reset your luck, so...
That your luck.
Are you shitting?
I've been wondering why you haven't been using your luck this whole game.
He thought he was just playing hardcore mode like me, where I
Yeah.
just never used
Well,
luck.
because we kind of carried. Oh my god.
We had broken that last...
AV, that means fresh combat. AV
Yeah.
is where we keep our luck.
Okay, so Alex gave him his
Alex
luck.
passed around
Oh
the
my
Mountain
God.
Dew. We're all charged back up with luck.
I hate you all.
Orange slices. So
Hey,
fun.
you got some really funny moments because of that, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex handed out the orange slices and Capri Suns. We got our lunch,
So
we got our luck back.
can I I'm gonna turn that 1 into a 2, and then can I add to it?
Yeah, you can always re-roll. You can boost and re-roll, yeah. You can literally use all of your luck on one roll if you wanted to. That's the cool thing about it.
I'm gonna boost and re-roll that one. So
Okay.
it's pretty
Boost.
much he rolls, and then he kind of does this and then this to parry. So it's parry grab, parry grab. Fucking hell.
At least you found out now.
I'm still debating. Sometimes I want to pre-roll luck.
27.
Sometimes you can, yeah. You definitely can do that. You can pre-roll it.
Okay.
I'm always reactive to my luck.
Alright, so you've got 29 on that one that was originally a botch.
Yeah.
Alright, so 25, 29, and 23. So the 29, you managed to do a grapple parry. The other two, he manages to actually get his claws in you. So you basically take 2 slashing hits. He goes in for a third. You snag and you basically get on the inside and pull to draw and see if you can't get some. So,
Luck sucker.
yep.
You luck sucker.
I can't believe that.
I mean,
that
I
was funny.
just thought you were
Oh,
going
shit.
for motor.
Holy shit!
Jesus.
Wow, that's 4 successes so far.
Dude. So far.
Roll.
5. 5 successes.
It's
And
you're
then
like
he
the
grapples.
limiters on this.
He grapples, sinks his talons, and then goes, meat.
You forgot to take the safety caps off your claws.
Yeah. Well, so he gets that shot. You can see him just kind of like go, hissing roar at you, and then you just draw all the SFR out of him. 25 points, by the way. And he suddenly he pulls an Indiana Jones. His body becomes completely desiccated, and then you draw the energy forth out of him to the point where he just turns to dust.
Wow, dude. Wow.
And all of a sudden you don't see Mr. Bigsby anymore. You just see John just kind of dusting us off his hands. It's like, took your goddamn time with that one. And then the John's just standing there like nothing's happened. He's just dusting his hands like. And I guess that's it because he dodged.
Yep. So, Barrick, you're going to be the next one that's going to be targeted because you guys have been seen. You've got this punk that comes jumping up over the car. He hops up like this. You see, as you just blasted the one right in the face, you turn to your, back down southward. This punk is coming up over the top, just screaming like a maniac, just, trying to come after you with this, he's got a shotgun pumping. Problem is that he doesn't get very far because this vamp comes up behind him, grabs a hold of his neck, takes a huge-ass bite, and draws a whole bunch of his vitae right then and there, sending him dying and spraying on the ground, and then the vamp launches at you shortly thereafter after he's had a refill.
All right.
Two dodges, please.
Do I have the option to parry?
Yes. Parry, dodge, whatever works. 2 defense rolls.
All right.
Whatever your pleasure.
What is your pleasure, Scott?
I'll say parry is not a skill.
No, you would just use your melee or martial art, whichever one comes to it, to parry.
Okay,
Martial arts
so
generally is the top notch.
Martial art, yeah.
Parry
And
is
it's
the
just a
act.
Straight skill.
Yeah. I love it.
Wow, that actually
right.
syncs up really well with the music.
Yeah, it does.
Now that's all. We're just gonna sit and watch it. So 26 and a 27. I'm gonna. I'll just see how those land.
Okay. Well, he ends up biting his claws.
I'm parrying with. I don't have my claws out. I'm trying to parry with those.
Right. So he ends up swiping at you. I have to roll here as you're swiping with that, and he's going in hand-to-hand melee here. Do. Well, so you end up taking another 60 points of damage as he gets these 2 swipes, but your claws actually end up severing his the hand off his arm whenever you parry the second time around. Even though he wasn't trying to have that happen, he ends up managing to get cut by those claws.
All right.
You.
Where are you at damage-wise, sir?
I'm at 120 total, so
Damage?
I have -5 penalty.
Damn, dude.
Yep, he's a hurting unit.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, drained hitboxes.
Yep. Which is why he's probably going to start getting suffering these hits, etc.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm not mistaken.
Start rolling that luck.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Hold on. Speaking of risks from earlier.
So is my meat space gonna start failing and the mech's gonna take over?
No. You see this, you come through and you cut off the hand. The vamp is screaming in absolute agony, the anguish of it, the burning, smoking, leftover remains of the arms and hand and wrist. Just he's pulling it back and just guarding it, and he's keeping himself at a rear point. Yep, there we go. You feel this whoosh go right by you as you see these flapping pieces of cloth and so on go rushing almost through you out that way. There's a glint of something like steel, and the vamp ends up being completely severed from here up.
Well, alright then.
And it takes a hit back, but you see Richard land. He's in the guise of of the cowl and cloak. He pulls it back and he's like, oh shit, starting to, because you're sitting there fucking bleeding and cut everywhere. And he's like, Carl, you want to help him out? Like this, and you see this tattoo on the side of his neck pop up and becomes this silvery mercury spider. She rushes down his front all the way up and up on your leg. He's like, don't try and squash her. Then hits your thigh. She sinks her fangs in, but instead of feeling agony or pain or anything else, you suddenly start to feel this wash of energy going up and through your body. What was this ratings? Where are you?
Drug free from 83. What is this stuff?
Yeah. You're just suddenly like that. You suddenly feel fine. It's like all of your skin is just suddenly cool. Yeah, he basically healed you back 120 points.
Oh. Alright then.
Because you're still a health level creature, and each one of the SFR he donates in that particular fashion regenerates a single health level. So you're like do.
I like the sound of that.
Oh yeah.
Alright then.
Then the spider he calls Kali jumps off of your thigh onto his hand, goes up his shoulder around, and then becomes the tattoo on the side of his neck again.
Thanks.
And he's like, don't mention it. We got bigger problems. Let's see here. And then we've got
Skin wolves are gonna come soon.
Yeah, the chitinous wolves.
Well, but see, now we get to see what Drew was laughing about. It's Ivar's turn.
Almost, yeah. So your golem has been sitting there in fisticuffs with these vamps. The thing about that is that you see him boot one of the ones that had caught fire from Ivar's initial blast, takes the boot all the way rolling back northward up the street towards where Barrack is. It ends up doing a running tackle into another one and just pounding until...
Go to sleep.
Yeah, basically. Just completely brutal brawl. That's all it's doing. The indentation to the car is becoming deeper and deeper and deeper with every strike.
As the god goes, maybe you don't understand. I'm just so good. I put them to sleep with my fists.
Alright, Drew. Oliver says, what the fuck you up to?
So Ivar is going to attempt an AoE.
Okay.
Oh, attempt
And I don't know if you guys recall in the last session when Ivar showed up, at one point Ivar is just eating breakfast. And things are starting to turn in his belly. He's not feeling so hot.
Is this a spray-OE?
Pretty much.
Team America?
It goes something like this.
Oh.
He turns around and just lets it rip.
Oh god.
Except it starts heating up.
When that
Except it
smell hits
mixes-
Riv, she's gonna bomb people with vomit.
He just lets it go, but keep in mind he's been heating things up, so he's basically heating this shit up to make cosmic level lava that is just flowing towards everybody. So-
Are you gonna try and keep the civilians out of your spray?
So is this vomit or shit?
He's shitting, man. He's
Oh,
gotta
it's
let
lava
it rip,
shit.
man. It's lava shit. The general idea this came out of was he was trying to heat something up even hotter to take out the vampires that are left in a massive effect. What is the target to make Ivar's dream come true?
Well, again, are you going to try and keep the civilians out of it or no? Because that's going to increase or decrease difficulty.
Well, since the idea is it's anyone out there, Ivar has no control over his bowels at this moment. It's
So, no, you're not going to try and keep the civilians out of it.
He's
No, I don't
completely
think so.
incontinent. Oh yeah.
It's going to be a DC-8 then.
What would I just out of curiosity, what would it have been if he had tried to save them?
It would have been a 10.
Well, that's
Yeah,
better.
he's got some rookie numbers there. He's gonna bump that 7 up.
Some rookie numbers. Gotta bump those numbers up.
Oh, God. Alright, well,
We're taking 3 degrees of shit.
Ivar belches, sort of scratches, and, like, begins to squint and sweat during the whole point. God damn it. All you get is an oh shit in Russian before he ends up basically turning around and just lifting the robe out the back, which causes a pyroclastic explosion to fly out towards the enemy. I have to make... So, John, you're going to have to make a dodge. Same thing with...
I'm so glad I'm flying right now.
Not only that, but your golem apparently knew exactly what was going on and leaps the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, yeah.
31.
Yeah.
Everyone's used to Ivar's bullshit. Literally.
I don't know why it's funny, but it is.
Sign up for our Patreon today for more high quality content like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So, the combination of 6-day-old rotting corpse and sulfur is what basically everybody is confronted with in terms of aroma.
Nasal filters.
Yeah, Barrick's just immune to all of that. The Golem and John immediately get the fuck out of the way. Cars are starting to slag where many of the contact is being made. It's almost like corrosive as well as it is like deeply hurtful. What the F?
What's that from?
God
Looks like
fucking,
Ren and
I
Stimpy,
know,
sort of.
but it killed Drew. Jesus.
Oh,
That looks like it's a Ren and Stimpy of some kind.
it does, but it must be like the new one, like the more adult one, because that is way too graphic.
Anatomical?
I'd say. Yeah. But man, he destroyed that.
The fucking toes bursting out of his shoes. And
And gripping the ground. So,
fuck. Oh, God. Whew.
Drew had to leave. Oh,
Yeah.
he's back.
What a way to like end the session for this week.
Just that's a great way to segment the group, because now there's just napalm shit everywhere.
Oh my god. Holy hell.
Do you guys remember the game Primal Rage? It was a fighting game.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was that one baboon that did like farts and diarrhea and vomit. Like that was its attacks.
Sorry, my computer was about to die.
Oh, we thought we just killed you with the gifs.
Oh no, the GIFs were just great. And by the way, that is Ren and Stimpy.
Did everyone dodge or no?
I'm gonna just hold it
Bill
right there
dodged.
because, like, John and the Golem dodged, but there are several vampires who did not get out so luckily.
Oh jeez.
What about Scott?
Scott was behind that, watching him
Got
do
it.
it, not in front of. He wasn't at the business end.
Barrick has learned to stay downwind, upwind. I don't know.
Oh.
Bill, you're muted.
Hello, everybody. Ivar has returned.
No, Barrett got the full, like, Ivar's toes going into the concrete.
Yeah. Man. Was that holy shit? Did it do double damage? Or
I'm now adding it to Ivar's repertoire. It's going to be called Holy Lava Shit.
Well, but he has to have like Taco Bell the.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be a. He's not going to get to use it whenever he wants. You gotta build up to something like that.
Yeah, I'm down to make that a sort of conditional thing. I'm okay with this.
Conditional AOE.
So, see now, you guys are going to be really worried when right before a big battle, it's like, "Hey, Ivar, you feeling Taco Bell?"
by the way, we've worked in 3 Demolition Man.
Yes, you have.
That is necessary.
we fit our quota.
Oh God.
Greatest predictor of the future of all time.
And as much as I want to talk about this, because fuck Drew. God damn it. I need to go to bed because I'm up at 4.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night,
Been
Bill.
a long day of staring at job ads.
God damn it, Drew.
Welcome to Call Me Tomorrow. I'm going to be spending the day painting this room.
Yeah, you paint it Ivar's way.
Ivar's way. Jesus. The paint.
No,
spray.
I have to drop off all my stuff from work that I took home. So that's gonna be fun. I have to like walk of shame back into the office with a box. So it's weird, right? You leave and you have to take your box of stuff out, but when you're remote, you have to take your stuff back in.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Did they ask you for the stuff, or you're like, no, I already returned it?
Well, I have like $50,000 of checks that they want back.
Hot
Why do they want that?
I don't know. And like,
Can't you just say that's your part of your severance?
right? I should. But yeah, so then I've got my laptop and everything I have to give back.
Well,
See, that's funny. I left my laptop at work, so when they're like, we need you to do this over the summer, oh, I don't have a laptop. I'm really sorry. I left it at work.
either way, I think that game went well. We still haven't done any IP from the last initial encounter. This one's going to be ridiculous because we're going to jump right back into the fighting once again when the next session kicks in.
Again.
Yeah.
I don't get those
the
ripper
fight's
claws
not
out,
over.
but the 2 times I've gotten those claws out, it has worked off very handsomely.
I don't know, man. You got style points as far as I'm concerned. That super shotgun combo is fucking funny as hell to me.
Well, I did it in Hell too.
Yep.
That was a beautiful. This was actually a really fun. Like, hey, welcome back. Here's combat. This week's title was "Wow, a Crazy Few Weeks."
Yeah. How's that of notes coming along there, Drew. So fucking much. It's ridiculous.
There's tonight's firefight.
Yeah. Goddamn.
That'll be one of the Patreon tiers. You get to see the page of Ivar's scribblings.
This reminds me of a really god-awful, I think she's a Marvel comic book, but she only gets powers whenever she's on her period. She has a laser beam that blasts out of her hooch.
Oh my god.
Damn.
That couldn't be Marvel.
That was... Yeah, it's a comic. It's a legit comic. I don't know what the fuck she's called. I can't remember. But she's like dykey and huge. And all you see is her just bent over with her big gut hanging out and stuff. She's like, ah, like that. But you see her from the front. And then just see the beam going out and destroying like a truck or something. It's ridiculous.
Oh, wait.
Here, check this out. This is my notes for the evening. Let's see, can I find it? It's not... Where is it? Can I not select it? I guess I'll take a screenshot then. The music is great, by the way. There we go.
Holy crap.
This is how much notes I took tonight.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Oh, I love that you actually... that's great.
I don't have OneNote anymore, so...
Do you want my OneNote?
He can share.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I think I've
Well,
got...
so I have it still, so I feel like an idiot. So I have OneNote, like the app, I didn't delete it, right? But I don't have access to my work account, so I like pulled all of the non-work stuff off so that they wouldn't see it.
Right.
But then I'm like, oh wait, they can't see anything I type into it now because it's not connected back to the server. Damn it, I should have just kept all of that stuff in OneNote where it was very nicely organized. It just would never resync to anything. So I didn't actually succeed in like anything that I wanted with that massive like copy and deletion. Now I just have a bunch of PDFs that are like really annoying that I'll have to retype.
OneNote is free. I mean, you can download that for free. Just connect it to your Microsoft account. It's easy.
Well, I guess I have a Microsoft account, right?
Yeah.
My kids play Minecraft. I must have a Microsoft account.
You'd think. Well, as far as our one-man audience is concerned, thanks for watching again. We will catch you next week or sooner, hopefully, if I can get myself out of my bed and into the stream.